Okay, it is 7 p.m. We are going to be starting. I will do a quick recall. And Councilmember Stuffus and Councilmember Chesick have both been excused from today's meeting. Councilmember Stuffus is representing us in the Hill right now while I'm hosting the meeting. And Councilmember Chesick had alerted us of him not being able to make this meeting prior. All right. I have Valerie Woodall.
I'm here.
And Danielle Carter.
Here.
And myself. All right, let's move on. Today's going to be a very, very short meeting. I know Mr. Kamali, myself, and Chief, and our Director of Public Works have to jump into another meeting regarding the emergency weather. And we've been having quite a bit of meetings with our partners in the various levels. So that's the glamorous life of elected and leadership positions, right? Right, Mr. Kamali? Lovely late meetings. But we have quorum. Councilmember Woodall, can you go ahead and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. And we're going to move on to item number 2, review of the agenda. Can you please do a read through?
Yep. Agenda of the legislative meeting of the Mayor and City Council, City of Mount Rainier, Maryland, virtual meeting, Tuesday, January 7th, 2025 at 7 p.m. 1, call to order, Pledge of Allegiance. 2, review of agenda, 5 minutes. The Mayor and Council will review the agenda for the meeting, adding or deleting topics of interest or discussion. Number 3, Mayor and Council members' event announcements. Number 4, public comment. Please see page 2 of the agenda where the rules for public comment are listed. If you wish to speak, please advise during the virtual meeting. New business, number 5, first reading of ordinance number 01-2025, budget amendment number 1, 10 minutes. The Mayor and Council will have the first reading of ordinance number 1-2025, budget amendment number 1. Number 6, vote on the approval of minutes for December 4th, 2024, legislative meeting, 5 minutes. The Mayor and Council will vote on approving the minutes for December 4th, 2024, legislative meeting. Number 7, presentation of minutes, 5 minutes. The City Clerk will present the December 17th, 2024 special legislative meeting and work session minutes to the Mayor and Council. And number 8, adjournment.
Thank you so much. Is there any event information on the bottom or no?
No, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Melly. All right, so the agenda has been reviewed. We are going to be moving on to item number 3, Mayor and Councilmember events announcements. So Valerie, I'm going to give you a breather. Danielle, go ahead, and then I'll come after you. Okay, Valerie?
Thank you. There are no events coming up, but I do want to thank everybody on the record who have stepped up and helped their neighbors, scraping the sidewalks and their walkways and the stairs. I've seen a lot of that going on in our neighborhood and have had requests for and had people volunteer, and it's just been an amazing community effort. It's been beautiful. So I just want to thank everybody who has stepped up and helped their neighbors.
Okay, Valerie Woodall, Councilmember Woodall, go ahead.
The only event that's coming up, it's not quite an event. The Recreation Committee meets again on Thursday, and then they will be presenting in January at the next work session on their year-long efforts. So that's all that's coming up from me.
Thank you so much. And the Rec Committee also sponsor the Kwanzaa event with Joe's, correct? That happened this December. All right, perfect. Thank you so much. So as far as me, definitely a big thank you to the whole entire community as well as the staff. We managed to do 500 food baskets. And we had a lot of volunteers putting together. I think that people don't always realize that the reason why we're able to do so many things is because people have stepped up to help us. And it allows us to be able to do, if we had to hire all those volunteers, there wouldn't be no way we could do the things that we do. And that includes like the food distribution, because we had about, I think it's close to 30 plus explorers helping. We had community members, Girl Scouts, coming through, right? Along with also other organizations that come in and help us. But even if we had to hire 20 to 40 people to do this, you're talking about like we wouldn't be able to do half of the things that we do. And I think that a lot of times that also carries in the decisions we make, because we would love to do so much, but the reality is like our staff is little. right? And they usually wear multiple hats a day in their everyday thing, and they don't have the luxury to say, hey, I'm not going to work because I'm volunteering here for the city. They still have to be responsible for the work that they do. In saying that, I will say to you guys as well that we've had plenty of good conversations. And as I mentioned before, when it comes to the Office of Emergency Management, Mr. Kamali, myself, Chief, and Rocio, we basically work with the county and state when it comes to any emergency procedure, and they fill this in and information goes out. So it's always important to make sure to you guys know that we are fully active both in the state and but also in the county when it comes to being upfront with information, but also when it comes to receiving information so that our teams could best prepare. A big thank you to both the police department and our public works department that have been all night working. Like I said, we have a small team, but very mighty team. They have salted, they have plowed. They're actually, we're out again salting tonight, and they'll be salting at the wee hours of the morning. Recycle will be done Friday as usually. Picking up trash is going to be usually done on Wednesday as scheduled, so that's not going to change. And they'll come back and do either more salting or plowing, depending what is needed to pre-treat, to continue pre-treating the streets. So the other thing to point out is parents have received this, and we already put it out in our media. The schools are going to be closed tomorrow as well. There's a list that been provided of places where food is going to be available. There's not one near here, but we'll still provide it in case somebody needs to like go grab food when it comes to the students. And so big shout out also to the PTOs from both Rainier Elementary, but also Cesar Chavez. The Highsville Elementary has also, Highsville Elementary and Middle School have been also very good when it comes to informing parents, as well as Northwestern. So thank you guys for that as well. So I think that some of you guys are aware that the Highsville Middle School, that's the feeder middle school for quite a few of our kids. So they do go there. So we have good relationship with them, but we have good, strong relationship with quite a few of the schools through Route 1. You know, we work and collaborate together because at the end of the day, we do have 2 community schools in the city, but our kids go to quite a few schools outside as well. In saying that, I will ask everybody that's watching us or could hear this later, please sign up for e-notifications. That is the fastest way for you to get information from the city directly to your email or directly to your text. I did set a post of somebody saying, hey, I reached out for the city to get information. 100% the listserv and the Rainier community page are not official mediums for the city. Sometimes we post information there, sometimes we answer, but the reality is like, we heavily work on trying to inform the largest groups, which is like whoever is in diverse mediums. So when it comes to the city, they have Facebook, Instagram, X as well. The police department also has Facebook as well, where we put information out. I know I do and other people do. But ideally, we're asking people if they could please sign up to the notifications so that way they get immediate information from the city. And you guys usually will get an e-blast. So if you choose to do it via text, you could do it via text, but that's the fastest way for you to get the information. And, so big thank you also to the administrative and communications team who has been out there providing information to the community and making sure that the information is being sent out. So Mr. Kamali, big thank you to you for leading a great team. And there's a lot of work, although administrative offices were closed. There's still a lot of behind the doors work that we still need to do, even if the offices are closed, because deadlines need to be met. So that will be my announcements. The opening legislative session is tomorrow in Annapolis. I'll be there representing the city of Rainier. And we also have Mita. I'm also going to be there as well. So Prince George's County Association had their legislative event. It was very successful. As I mentioned before, I'm the president, and we have a good team working together. So we look forward and continue to work. Our lobbyist has done outstanding work in reaching out when it comes to our priorities for the city of Rainier. And it seems to me very much likely we're going to have another great year. Although our fiscal year finishes in June. Happy New Year's to everybody. Happy holidays, because I know some of you guys are still wrapping up the holiday season. and we look forward to continue celebrating and working together. So there's more information coming through. We are going to have more information on our events for the next few months at the work session. And we always look forward to pairing up with wonderful collectives. As an example, like we mentioned for Kwanzaa, we pair up with Joe's before, for not just Kwanzaa, but the Little Latino Heritage. We have paired up with Thomas Stone before. We have paired up with like Rainier Elementary for other events as well. So Gateway CDC and so on, right? So many things to come this year, and a big thank you to the whole entire staff, code as well, economic development, who managed to like do the final part of the phase 1 for 34th Street, and we're moving on to phase 2. And I know the team is working really hard to finishing Potts Hall so we could have it for this year. And we're hoping that before the end of winter comes along, that building is completely done so we could have an open house and invite people to our new location. In saying that, we have a lot of work to do with the legislative season kicking off, and lots of bills, more than 600 bills have been filed, and more bills are going to be filed, right? And a lot of reading and working and making sure that we do an outstanding job in representing the city of Rainier, both in the county and the state. So we'll continue working. So big thank you to all of you guys for that. And I look forward to having a very prosperous year and to continue working together and, and doing as much as we can to grow as Mount Rainier. All right. Perfect. So I think I cover a couple of things that were coming in for the next few days. Lastly, but not least, there is a storm that is being watched over that might be coming over this weekend. So between Friday and Saturday, our team is getting ready in gear, and we'll continue in the various emergency calls that we're called upon, right? But also making sure we follow plans to make sure our residents are safe and our teams are out there doing their job. So please be aware that we are also monitoring the storm that's coming up and dealing with the different weather that this snow has placed on us. And in the few days in between, that is going to be really, really cold. So in the meantime, if you don't need to go out and drive, please don't do so. If you do, drive safely. And if you have any questions, please email us to reach out. But I do want to emphasize again, sign up to the e-notification so that way is easier, and it also frees time for the rest of those that are involved in communications to be able to put information out and work with our partners in order to make sure we get the information when it comes to school, when it comes to WSSC, when it comes to PESCO, and so on and so on and so on, in order to make sure that we could gather the information to submit it and be sure that we are watching everything else that's going on. But in saying that, thank you guys so much. And we will move on to public comment. So, Melly, can you go ahead and put page 2 of the public comment? So I usually read it as standard if you haven't joined us in the meeting, because that we're on the same page. It says rules for public comment. Mayor and City Council invite and welcome comments at public meetings. The mayor presiding officers will recognize you. Please introduce yourself. First, last name for recording purposes, and give the name of your street and block number. As an example, 4300 block of 34th Street. Please indicate in the chat whether you would like the mayor to read your comment or you will speak on your comment. Public comments has a time limit of 3 minutes for speaker unless otherwise agreed upon by the mayor. While speaking, please remain a courteous tone and avoid personal attacks. If you wish to launch a complaint about a performance or conduct of any city employee, please bring your concerns to the attention of the city manager, who will look into the matters and respond to you. As a courtesy to other residents and businesses, the council requests that the speaker not use specific addresses or names of individuals when describing a situation or making a complaint, noting the block is preferred over a specific address. Okay, so those are the rules, and as mayor and council, we basically follow the same rules of decorum as well. All right, put it up a little bit. So if you are here in the chat, go ahead and type in your name, last name, block and street number, and let me know if you need me to call upon you. In the meantime, Pink, is there anybody on Facebook that has any comment? Pink or Millie, whichever of you guys is there. I'm sorry, Jared. I thought Pink was in with for us today. Jared, thank you for joining us, and I thought you were out on vacation as well. All right, Jared, thank you. All right, perfect. I don't see nothing in the chat, so we're gonna close out public comments for tonight and move on to the next item. For new business, the first reading of ordinance 01-2025 budget amendment number 1. Allocated 10 minutes or less. The mayor and council will have the first reading of ordinance 01-2025 budget amendment number 1. Just a reminder for our committee members, this budget amendment was also read in the last work session of the year. It's the same exact document, and it's a read through. It's not a vote. So usually we read through it, and then until the second reading, then we vote. So I did pre-warn our wonderful Councilmember Woodall that she'll get herself ready to read this document. So she's ready to go. So you could go ahead and put it on the screen, and Valerie, can you go ahead and do a read through, please?
Yep, thank you. City of Mount Rainier, Maryland, ordinance number 01-2025, budget amendment number 1, authorizing a movement of funds in the fiscal year 2025 budget between line items. Whereas the City of Mount Rainier budget for fiscal year 2025 was adopted by ordinance number 03-2024 in April 2024. And whereas it has been deemed necessary to transfer funds between line items to meet current demand for goods and services. And now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the City of Mount Rainier, Maryland, that the following transfer of funds between appropriations shall be made to the fiscal year 2025 budget of the City of Mount Rainier. From line item number 5598, contingency amount 23,000, to line item 5555, Arts Commission amount 23,000. From line item 5598, contingency amount 11,000, to line item 5530, conferences, convention expenses, mayor and council, amount 11,000.
Melly, can you do the last line all the way to the bottom? So yeah. So it says right there, the ordinance adopted by the Council of the City of Mount Rainier this blank day of February 2025, right? So it's left blank because we still need to do the second reading and adoption. And that second reading adoption is going to be coming. So we usually will do it on in this case will be the first Tuesday of February. That'll be like when the next meeting will take place. Okay. So Valerie, thank you for reading it through. At this point, it looks like no one has questions, so we'll move on. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to our city manager, Ron Wilson. I also see you. Hello, Ron. How are you? Who's also heavily responsible. So you see that face, who's also heavily responsible along with like the finance team to make sure our audits are on time. Thank you, Ron. We appreciate you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Ron is so like, and I already started that new audit for like this upcoming year. So I think that, quickly, since we're in this item, I think what people don't realize is that the team is currently working on the budget for the next fiscal year. They're also working on the audit that's upcoming and due this upcoming October. So their work doesn't stop. They just need to, and part of their budgets includes making sure that documents are lined up, and that they also have the proper procedures in place in case need to be. And through the year, pulled various items to make sure they're tested and that we are in track to do and submit a clean audit. So thank you guys for that as well. All right, so let's move on to the next item. Presentation of minutes. The clerk will present the minutes for December 17, a special legislative meeting and work session minutes. Oh, sorry, Melly. Thank you. Thank you. I just saw your little clicker moving. All right, vote on approval of minutes for December 4. Mayor and council vote on approving the minutes for December 4. Can I have a motion on the floor to, actually I'll put the motion so it moves faster. Motion on the floor to approve the minutes for December 4 for legislative meeting.
I second it.
Thank you for seconding. Any discussion, objection, abstentions? Hearing none is passed unlimited. was like, sorry, it's by unanimously. And please remember that these minutes were also presented in the work session. Usually our team has done a beautiful job. Thank you, Melly, for making sure they present them for a meeting before. So that way we have seen it at least one time before we voted on it, the meetings. All right, now presentation. City Clerk will present the December 17 minutes for 2024 special legislature meeting and work session minutes for mayor and council. Presenting them, she just basically tell us they are here. They're part of your package. If you have any questions, send them out to her and they'll be ready to vote for the February meeting. Okay, and then she'll present us for the work session, the meetings for tonight. All right, perfect. So moving on to item number 8, I would like to put a motion for adjournment for this meeting tonight.
Moved.
I need a second, actually. Can I
Second.
get a second?
Second.
Okay, it's probably moved and second. Any discussion, objection, abstention? Hearing none. This meeting officially comes to an end. Thank you guys, and please stay warm and safe outside. Any questions, please reach out and sign up to your notification. Make our job beautifully. At the end of the day, we have done a lot of work to make sure we reach out. And thank you again to the whole entire staff. With special thank you to our police, communication, and public works team for being out there, making sure we have the communication we need and be as safe as we possibly can be. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
I'll see you in the next call, Chief and Mr. Kamali.
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Yes, definitely.
We good, right?